Yo everybody, it's Almabayev. So let's get to it. Bring the pain!
What's up everybody, it's Heat Override and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. We got another crazy fight night. Hey man, we got soup cans fighting as my boy Dan would say, so I'm gonna bring him in right now because this is how the Fight Club of Pain is gonna roll. Oh yeah! What's up buddy?
What's going on, Rob? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We got UFC today. We have WWE today, Elimination Chamber. We're going to give out some picks at the end of this podcast for that. But, man, I know I got people feeding in right now, so let me get up the chats so we can make sure that we see anybody's comments. If you guys have any questions about any of the other fights, we definitely can get that answered for you in timely fashion. But, again, we don't want to take too much of your time because this event is about to start. And we actually got extra 30 minutes because of a couple cancellations. But let's get to it. Everybody, this is Dan. We're going to call him Dan the Brick Fist. Yeah. Or how about No Dan the Grueling Stops.
Oh, man.
I love coming up with stupid names, man. It's just so much fun.
I love it. I love it.
It's good. So everybody, Dan and me have been friends for quite a while, but we have never really talked deep about UFC because I'm always up football, you know? So in WWE, but eventually we found out. So it was crazy. When I started texting you that day, what was you thinking?
Oh, man. I didn't know you were into UFC, so I never really talked about it with you.
Ah, man. You know, it was one of those things like I've always phased in and phased out, but right now I'm locked in. I'm locked in for the rest of the ride. There's just going to be no way. There's so much fun. Again, when you look at it, the battle between two men or two women in a ring, octagon, wherever it may be, it's just its purest fight. You don't have to worry about refs throwing flags or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's an art form. It's an art form.
It's an art form. Hey, and everybody be easy on Dan, too, because this is his first podcast, and I'm a crazy mo, you know?
First ever.
All right. So, of course, with the cancellations, we'll bring that up. We got Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. Yo, I wanted that fight. Because Carolina was in a lot of my lineups. Of course, I did have Castaneda in another lineup too, but only one. So I'm not going to really worry too much about those two fights being canceled. So we're not going to talk about them. How the Fight Club of Pain works for everybody. We're only going to cover a few of the fights. Of course, we're going to cover the big fight, the main event, and co-main event. That's just the walkthrough. We might talk about that for a few seconds. But you can get all of that information at drroto.com. Use code word DOC, and you will get you a percentage off. We have the right cure for any of your fantasy needs. Ooh, yeah. Let's get ready to bring the pain. So, we're going to start off with one of the lower fights. We're going to do Hyder Amil versus William Gomez. What did you see when doing a lot of the fight tape run back and between the two fighters?
I mean, they both have long winning streaks. I think Mills at 10 and Gomez has a 12-fight winning streak right now.
Yeah.
They both – neither of them have fought really anybody named yet.
No. It's hard to do that when you think about that, right? When you don't really have much to go off of. I think that's the hard when you have a bunch of these guys that are lower named and nobody knows yet, and you have to go to like some black and white film from some dude. I watched one of the fights and this dude came down a stage like he was a wrestler. He came down some stairs. Dude, I was freaking out. I was like, what is this? This is WCW? Is it like it's more like like TNA? But go on, man.
Some of those fights were like, in my opinion, they were terrible. It was just I don't know, like slapping each other, you know?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. When I was looking at some of the Ricardo Ramos fights, man, like I was bringing up to you when we're putting the pre-talk, and I was looking at his fight tape, and I was like, this dude just came out of the trailer, I swear. And then I'm like, and then he comes out for the fight. Dude's got long hair. And I'm like, who is like Nicholas or something like that. So he gets out there, and they're just going to do the little things, and I'm like, okay, Ramos, whatever, I see you. But we'll get to that fight. That's actually one of the other fights we're going to get to. But what I saw is, of course, when I talk about Amel, I thought his gutsy instincts right from the go, high energy is really, really, it can play into Gomez, his play style, but I assume that the minute that happens, that Gomez is going to just jump on his back. You feel the same way?
I feel the same way. I think it goes all 5 rounds or all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I think it goes all 3 rounds, and I think Gomez is going to win by decision. Yeah.
I think that sometimes you get these guys, these BJJ guys, and or wrestlers, and they just lock on you and they hold you down, and you're just like, they just get points.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hugging snooze fest.
So people, when I'm talking both DFS theory and betting theory, because I have a lineup at the end of this podcast. Of course, if you didn't read the itinerary, I will give out one crazy bold pick too. That is not on my bold picks at Dr. Roto. So that being said, I mean, I just want this. I kind of want to see Amel, because between the two fighters, he is the more exciting fighter. So I want to see him go to 11-0. But then, like you said, the savvy vet, the guy, plus, I mean, he's got an extra inch on him. Not that that's going to mean much at all. But overall, it's a close fight. It's an undercard. But DFS-wise, it can help you save money whichever way you go as well, too.
Yes.
So who do you got?
I think Gomez wins by decision.
That's solid. That's solid. I'm gonna go with that too. Of course, as the fight tape that I was looking at, I'm gonna say that he's gonna jump on his back. He's gonna take him down. He's gonna stay active enough, up, down. And look, I know that Amel has great takedown defense, but at the same time, I seen him in the one fight. This dude almost choked him out 3 times. I think, no, that wasn't. It was 3 times. He had his arm around Amel's neck. I don't know how it didn't happen, but that defense, he was able to get through that and get that win in that fight. But however, when it was coming back, I was just like, all right, so I know that that's practically how it's going to go in a that's decision, that's points. And I mean, if you want to bet that, go to distance easily. There's a lot of these fights that are in the positives to go to distance, and this is definitely one of them. So you want to hit that. All right, let's move along to the next one. Let's do a little echo on this one. We got Ricardo. I don't know why I had to do that, because he's going to get crunched. Ramos against Chepe Mariscal. All right. Tell me about what you saw. First look at the guys.
I mean, Ramos hasn't won consecutive fights since like 2019, and he's coming off a lackluster victory his last fight, and he I don't know, he's not entertaining. He's not entertaining.
So speaking of that, we're just gonna run over to how he is literally the cheapest guy on the DFS slate, and you are correct. His last fight out, he only got 55, but when you look at 16, 13, 101, 27, 98, 5, he's very inconsistent. He's only went the distance in 3 of those fights, 3 rounds. The other ones, he's just started getting kicked, or he got kicked, So at the same time, when you see that, you don't see anything for him DFS-wise. The fact that the sites priced him down at the bottom and took Mariscal and put him at the top only means that they're going to that he's a heavy favorite right now. Ricardo, well, when I did the write-up, Ricardo was a plus 340 on Fanduel, and we got Chepe at the negative 470. It's probably even worse than that now. So who you got winning this one?
I mean, Chepe he's 4-0 in UFC, man. He's looking great every fight. I think he stops him in the 3rd round.
He stops him in the 3rd round. He takes him. Submission?
No, I think he TKOs him in the 3rd round.
He TKOs him in the 3rd? All right. I like that. I have Mariscal winning by TKO, but I'm going to take the under 1.5 rounds on this one.
Oh, wow.
I just think that for me, I look at Ricardo and he just looks. No offense, Ricardo. I mean, I ain't no guy to get in the ring, but if you ever want a point fight, we can point fight. But however about that, he just looks like a pretty boy. And Chepe does not. Chepe is a dirty dude. Like, he will get the work done. He got blasted by Sheriar. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know how he won that fight, but he did win that fight. That was a battle.
Yeah.
He got bloodied. He just got at dude, and he was all over him. Did you watch a little bit of that fight too? That was a war.
Yeah. They went to war, man. And
I actually got a lot of respect for Shepier, or whatever you say his name. Right now,
Sheppy. He got rocked in that fight, and
he did.
I thought the other guy was going to finish him, but
I did too.
It didn't happen. He made a comeback.
He did, and that shows his grit. And in no way, shape, or form is Ramos going to be like, I'm just going to out-dirty him. There's no way Cheppy gets out-dirtied him. So I'm just going to say it. He gets bullied. He gets bullied in this fight. I can even see Cheppy getting a submission, which really overall may not be his total style, but he is like a dog. He gets in there and does the work. I'm going with the knockout, because the knockout is just the way he's just going to boom at him and just keep hitting him and slamming him. The other guy was definitely lucky that he could hand up to that stuff because how big he was. And we're talking about, going back to duty. But at the same time, man, there ain't no way Ramos is handling this. And there's a reason why this is a top and a bottom dog. Yeah, that's it for me. So you got him submitting you got him knocking him out in the third round. All right, and I got the knockout in under 1.5. So everybody go check that out. But definitely let's move along to it. Let's move along to the it's the main event. There's only one guy that deserves to be in the main event, and that's the Macho Man. Mr. Cap himself, Manel Cap versus we got Asu Almabayev. Ooh, yeah. The main event. All right. What did you see in the fight tape between the two? I'm going to pull up the numbers while we get at that, and you get at that.
Kape, that last fight, when he knocked out Gustavo da Silva in December, man, that was crazy. And,
man.
Yeah, that he has such a fun style. He has such a fun style to watch.
Dude, so what was crazy about that is how he was taunting him. And there was that point, I think it was the second round, right? He finally got him off for a side. He's just like, he started moving like this. And he did a really super duper, I think he threw a kick, did a punch spinning back fist, or it was the kick, back fist, double punch combo. And then after that is when he was like, I was like, what? And then he just started taunting him, and he ducked down at one point, popped back up, and I'm like, bro, this dude's taking it to him. And I mean, it was a war. It was a war. And then all of a sudden, man, I was just like, he got to that round, like you said, and just straight popped the dude. The way he was moving, how smooth he was moving, the way he was able to play Forrest Whitaker, like, it just says, it could open up something for Asu, but at the same time, man, if you're that fast, what do you think?
The way he fights, he reminds me of a smaller Bobby Green.
Okay. You love it. Yo, so next week, this man's going to be all over Bobby Green, so better be ready for some Bobby Green. Hopefully he don't get... that's good. I can't wait to go do a little more tape on Bobby Green. I'm totally green when it comes to Bobby Green. Yeah.
He's good. He's good. Kape or Kape, however you pronounce his name.
I think it's Kape.
That's who he reminds me of in the way he fights.
Yeah. Oh man, I just like you said, the smooth style, being able to do that. So both of us being fighters and everything like that. Sometimes every once in a while I'll go fight one of the kickboxers, which I want to say shout out to TKO Erie. Whoop whoop. We're at the Arnold Open right now trying to throw it down. We got people going to first time ever kickboxing matches. So good luck to everybody. Of course, man, the best in the world, Bailey Murphy against our guy Derek. That can happen too. There's so many great competitors at this for our guy Derek and the other point fighters. So I just want to throw that. But being a point fighter, man, sometimes those dudes that can just get in and just move. And I know that a lot of the guys that I spar are a lot younger than me, so speed towards age is definitely a thing. But man, sometimes it amazes me that sometimes I throw some of these fast combos, and I'm fast enough to see them duck out the way, and I'm like, damn. And that's what Cap brings, man. That's what Cap brings.
Yeah, he has to watch out, though. He has to watch out in this fight.
No.
I mean, that Almabayev, his wrestling, if he can get a hold of Kape, it might be a long night.
And I think at some point he may get a hold of him, because this is a 5-round match as we were looking at. And there's no way Camp can do this. He cannot be taunting against Almabayev. He cannot do that, because if he does that, just like what you said, he's going to do, he comes in, he'll throw that combo, and he's going to go straight for that takedown. If he does that taunt and catches him at any point and gets that takedown, we don't know where that's going to end. So, a couple of the guys I follow in the industry, Mad Lab being one of them, he loves Almabayev in this matchup, and it's because of that wrestling background, and maybe because Cap likes to just take that time out. He likes to taunt and play around. And what do we see when people get taunt? Or what do we see what happened when Izzy fought last time, and Izzy was like, oh, I got to poke a guy, and they're like, hey, I think I could go, and then pop right in your damn eye, bro.
Yep.
Dropping my damn parlays.
And Kape, he likes to drop his hands, and like you said, taunt his opponents. But if he gets grabbed, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and that right there, the decision or even Almabayev by points is definitely in the positive right now, because of course the favorite's Cap. So it's huge. So what do you got? What do you got for us? What's your prediction for this fight?
I say Cap, 4th round TKO.
Oh yeah, right now, the last I looked, that was a plus 1,400 on Fanduel. That's how you get it. Also on DK, I took the bet too earlier, and that was a 1,400 as well. So that seems to be around that. A lot of these fights we did look at, Cap, there were 3-round fights, and he was getting the knockouts, like you said, in the 3rd round and getting them early. So that being said, I love the way you set up that knockout for the 4th round, because that's going to be when they're about gassed. And you did bring up, too, that Almabayev has been kind of boring, and he's that boring fighter. And sometimes the boring fighters still go, hey, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to focus on takedowns. And then they kind of come in and whack, you get knocked, right? I got a knockout. I got a knockout as well, too. I'm going to go a little earlier than this one. I'm going to go knockout under 3 rounds. Probably find a 2.5. If you can find a 3.5, that probably would be a little juicier, even if you can get a plus 100 or even a negative 116, 162 on that. You definitely could get your money's return. That's a little earlier than Dan said, but if you do those bets right there, you'll get for sure bets, and then you cover it with what Dan's throwing out there, man, because I like that. But easily, when I look at the knockout bet itself, just TKO and knockout by either fighter in this matchup is a plus 160. So you playing that and parlaying that, or if you're not allowed, with just, Cap getting his, at the time I did this, it was a plus 190 for his knockout overall. You take that, you're going to cover yourself no matter what. So you can take a chance at that 4th round knockout like he was talking about. Yeah. Woo! I love that, man. So, that being said, so how was it getting through your first episode? Was it good? We good?
I liked it. I like it, man. I gotta get used to it. But
yeah, we got it. All right. Well, let's get to it. So, what I'm going to talk about right now, this is my bold pick right here. Was not on my write up at Dr. Roto. You getting this right now? I'm saying with my chest. Oh yeah, it's my dude. I'm going all Haida Amil. He's going to be knocking out Gomes in the 2nd round. Let's play that game. He's going to get it. Gomes is going to go in. He's going to drop over him. He's going to get on top of him. He's going to whack. And if you get that right now, you're going to get a positive on that number. You cannot lose with that, right? At the same time, I said I was going to give you guys a lineup, right? Here goes a DK. Okay, so with the fight cancellations, those 4 fighters were practically in the middle of the card. And that is why they were, I had, like I said earlier, I had Carolina, and I had Carolina on every one of my lineups. So that being said, when I had to pull her out, I had to practically make a stars or scrubs lineup in that. So, but of course I had Johnson on that, and Johnson is a favorite of mine as well too. So if you like that, you could get that bet as well. So that being said, one of the first lineups that I made this week for DK, and I changed up real quick, is here we go. I got Rabovic, I got Brundage, I got Amel, I got Johnson, I got Mariscal, and I have Silva, right? You play those right there, throw that in a cash game lineup, and hey, let's make you our rich friend. Bro, how you feeling today? You ready for the wrestling event?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait.
Dude, are you going to have both on, both TVs, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm even watching this UFC one, man. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, I know. You know, I saw somebody leave a post on the X the other day. They go, if you're hard upping for this week's UFC, there's something wrong with you. Well, there's something definitely wrong with what's cooking in the Fight Club of Pain. Yeah, because tonight we're going to have The Rock get his answer from Cody Rhodes at what's going to happen at WrestleMania. But talking about the Elimination Chamber, give me a girl winner, give me a guy winner right there. This is for all my wrestling nuts.
I say Alexa Bliss wins the women's.
Oh, okay. Well, I like it. I like it. I'm going with Bianca Belair. That's mine. It's time for her to come back. I don't care if she's bad and she's beating people up in the background. I need that. I want her to be a badass. I want her to bust people in the chops. I want her to get back to where she was, the power. Not with like Jade Cargill showing up and trying to take that thunder for her. Bianca Belair is a main eventer. We've seen it already at many pay-per-views. That's my pick.
I like it.
I know. I went all in on it.
And let's see, men's.
Who you got?
How can you root against John Cena in this one? I mean, you can't root against John Cena, but
oh man, I agree with you on this.
I think Drew McIntyre is going to win it, but how could you root against Cena?
Wow, you just said Drew McIntyre for all the people that are going to be going. Whoosh. That's going to be crazy, dude. That's a bold pick. Now, if I could bet on that, I'd bet that. Plus 5,000 odds.
Yeah, plus 5,000 odds. Yeah, I think he's going to end up being the Rock's champion, Drew McIntyre.
You know, if there's a guy that's going to shake that hand and sell their soul, it's him. What's he got left? I mean, it ain't nobody else is going to do that, but he is the guy. And he hasn't had the belt for a while, and a lot of people did like him with the belt. But he is a crybaby at the moment. They keep messing with him with that.
Yeah. I think that's what they're pushing towards.
All right, you think so? I'm going to go CM Punk for me. My one thing that I think, I go CM Punk, I go Seth Rollins, John Cena. But I will agree with you this. For some reason, it does feel like Cena is written all over this. Over this. But it just... Does he beat Flair? Does he not beat Flair? That's such a big discussion, man. That's definitely another podcast.
Yeah, that definitely a long talk. That's definitely a long talk.
That's good. All right, everybody. I don't want to keep anybody too long. This is definitely a longer version of the Fight Club of Pain. I hope that a lot of you win money tonight and everything like that. Go ahead, Dan. Give it out to you out. He's giving salutes, people. Oh, yeah, brother. Have a great day, everybody. And remember, you can get all this information at Dr. Roto. My 5 bold picks were already up. You can check out my UFC Power Rankings and WWE Power Rankings every weekend, also at Dr. Roto. Baseball season's here. Definitely get there. The college basketball season, we're about to have March Madness kickoff. And our guys, Mike and Mike, and the One and Done crew have been in the lab getting it cooked, man. But right now, we're in the octagon. Right now, we're in the squared circle. And we're ready to make sure that we're ready to bring the pain to the competition, the slates. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day, Dan. Thank you for coming on my podcast.
No problem, brother. Take it easy.
Ooh, yeah.
For stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.